you talking about a shouse? I said, what the hell you know?
Shouse.
He said,
Yeah, I used to call them shouses.
I said, I have no idea what the hell a shouse
Shed
is.
house.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I said, it's a barn-dominium. So anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, this people who hunt. So anyway, we're joined today by Brad with Rafter P, and you may be wondering who Rafter P is. Rafter P Construction is a construction company that it happens to sponsor our television programs, but they're a special construction company. I say small, but it's really not that small. But they cater to probably you if you're watching this or listening to this. You're a hunter, you're a fisherman, you're an outdoors person. You probably thought about maybe having a barn-dominium or a metal building, a barn put up, or and this guy does it. I mean, Rafter P does it. So what we wanted to do is have him on here because, as a matter of fact, Rafter P is building the barn-dominium at our ranch right now, and there's a reason why. It's because he's got a lot of experience doing it. But I had so many questions before I started building the barn-dominium, and I think those questions are what people have all out there, about barn-dominiums. But it's about, I just want to make sure that people realize this is people who hunt. I mean,
Correct.
And you're a hunter, and so you're catering to the hunting market.
Right.
And so, anyway, I guess the biggest thing. How long has Rafter P been around?
Since 2002, February 1st, 2002.
Really?
Officially. Yes, sir.
Okay. Go ahead, Johnny. I know you got
First of all, Brad, make sure you get up on this mic right here.
All right.
We are at Dallas Safari Club right now, and there are people all over the place, so we got to make sure to get real close to the mics. But no, Brad, I think that what people would really... It seems that barn-dominiums have really grown in popularity. It seemed like back in the day, they used to be like every now and then, you'd see a barn-dominium, and it was more of like, we didn't want to do anything else. But now it's like me one day, I dream about. I already have it planned out in my head, folks. My barn-dominium one day.
Hold on a minute. It's not called barn-dominium everywhere. You know that? Because when years ago he said, "You talking about a shouse?" I said, "What the hell you know?"
Shouse.
He said,
Yeah, I used to call them shouses.
I said, "I have no idea what the hell a shouse
Shed
is."
house.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I said it's a barn-dominium. So anyway.
Yeah. Do you like that term, first of all? Because I feel like you cringe whenever I say that.
Well, I mean, there are so many names. We call them barn doors, but some people go all through the whole word, the barn-dominium. It's just a chopped up bunch of words put together to make what it is. But the metal houses is really what they are.
Yeah. And well, I'm telling you, I think one reason why a lot of guys think that, a lot of people out there may think that they want to do it because it's a whole lot cheaper to do it than building a normal home. Okay. Yeah. And so we'll address that, on this podcast. But, as far as how did you wind up getting into this? Because you've been a hunter all your life, haven't you?
Actually, I didn't start hunting until 15 years ago.
Really?
Yes, sir. I was raised up in the ranching world, so that pretty much didn't allow me to be a hunter.
Didn't have much time, did you?
No, sir. Livestock doesn't wait. You got to feed and take care of them. So I was pretty busy with that, starting off in my life, and I grew up no father. So I didn't have a mentor, like that to kind of show me all that. And
well, who showed you?
Actually, a friend of mine, a metal building salesman, took me out. He said, "Man, we got to get you unstressed out." I love being outside, so he gave me the fundamentals of how to do it and walked me through how to, age deer and all this stuff, and he kind of just walked me through it and got on his lease the next year and just fell in love with it.
That's awesome. Because one of the cool things, I didn't know that about you until just now. One of the cool things about hunters is that when I talk to most people, they do have a mentor. They had a father, grandfather, a brother, somebody that taught them how to hunt. And when somebody didn't, I want to find out how come you're into hunting? What is it about hunting that turned you on? How old were you? And especially some of these people, the older they get, because most of us started hunting when you're young. Okay, mm-hmm. I mean that was just what we did. But it intrigues me hearing people's stories about how they started older and how they got into it and why they're into it. So what is it? Is hunting just kind of a stress reliever to you?
It is, but it's also the camaraderie. Now I'm more guiding my kids hunting and stuff, so I've become that guy in the cook and all the stuff, and that to me is a lot more fun when you're hanging out with your kiddos, introducing them to the woods, passing down something that was taught to me, and then also hanging out with networking with your business, taking guys out that have never hunted, and showing them stuff, and teaching them things, and to me it's just something that keeps pass on. If you're compassionate about it, it just interwebs with everything you do.
Isn't it funny how the people in the construction business, by and large, are all connected to the outdoors?
It is crazy.
I mean, think about that. Whether because different construction companies, they'll have a trip, take everybody down the coast and go fishing, or they'll go on a dove
hunt,
or something. I mean, it's just people. I guess in construction, because we're all basically. I mean, I was in the construction business years ago. We're all outside, okay,
Right.
and I think we love going outside because there's something therapeutic about being outside. Now, in any business nowadays, there's going to be a lot of stress. Okay, even in the outdoor TV business.
Oh,
I mean, there's a lot.
just
of
a little
stress.
bit.
People go, well, how comes? Because we're wearing 50 different hats, trying to do 50 different things, just like everybody else in life is, just like what you have to do. That's the reason why when I ran into you, if it wasn't for hunting, I want to put this one. If it wasn't for hunting, we wouldn't know each other. Okay. And I think that's a cool thing about hunting. I mean, like in this show, or you go to Safari Club International, people from all over the world. You may not be able to speak their language, okay, to whatever their language is, but we have more in common with those people than not in common when you think about it. I mean, we've gone to different countries where we can't communicate with the guide, the outfitter, or whatever, and we get along fantastic. And the reason why is because we're hunters, and we all know kind of what each other's thinking and stuff, so we have more in common than not in common. And so, but if it wasn't for hunting, I think a lot of people wouldn't have the friends that they have in today's world.
I've met the best, and I'm not kidding here, I've met the best people and most influential people in my life by hanging out with you and being in the hunting world. 100%.
Well, thank you. But I will tell you this. I think hunting brings out good character in people. You get to see somebody's character real quick when you go on a hunt with them.
I was just fixing to elaborate on what you were saying. With the Dallas Safari Club, you can sit here, I don't know how many people actually come in here, but you don't see anybody angry. You don't, mostly smiling and happy. All the people that work these shows, we all network and know each other, and it's nobody's aggravated. Everybody's happy. And I feel like that's a good feeling that circulates through the hunting.
It is
fishing.
therapeutic.
Yes.
You know, it's good for the soul, and it's good for families, and to take your kids out and be with friends. And so, but getting back to a barn doe or shouse, whatever the heck you want to call it, address the fact first off, affordability, because I think, I mean, if people can't, if they can't afford it, they ain't gonna do it.
Right.
Okay, and everybody, whether they've got a barn that they want to build or a barndominium that they want to build, talk about the price of that compared to just typical construction.
Okay. So the way we build barn dominiums is it's the most efficient way compared to a conventional build, which is like a wood build. And we do both. But with a barn dominium, the way we do the foam, how we make them energy efficient, the air conditioning, all that stuff, and you have the wide spans that it costs a lot of money when you start doing into 40, 50-foot spans that you want clear span with wood. So it allows you a little more flexibility with the design, because what we've run into, a lot of people don't really care what the outside looks like. They have a shop space they want to include with the actual house build. So it allows you that flexibility to connect all that and build them efficiently. I mean, they'll last forever. So they're more or less like a big old cooler.
Okay, so cost-wise, though, Brad, what is the cost? I know that's like how much the truck costs. Well, you want one, the Rolls-Royce truck, or
Right.
And so cost-wise, I'm just wondering to tell people. I mean, is it considerably cheaper? Is it 10% cheaper? Is it just the same cost? Tell everybody.
If you're looking at you're versus a conventional build versus a barn dominium, you're looking at about 20% difference cheaper.
Cheaper.
If you built them exactly the same with the same efficiencies, that's where a little bit of misinformation's around. Is like you can build a barn dominium cheap and not do all the things you need to, but you're also inside of a metal structure that you got to make sure it breathes. It doesn't get any kind of that metal will have moisture come in it and fiberglass and stuff, and it'll create mold cavities inside the walls. So that's why you have to build them a certain way, and if doing that will alleviate any of those kind of problems.
Well, I know that yesterday I was enlightened. I mean, we're in the process right now of getting ours started, and I thought I mean, being in the construction business, I mean, I thought that we were doing things right until y'all said, I want to point something out to you about the insulation. Literally, I mean, I want my house, my barn dough, insulated as well as anybody else would. I mean, I want probably better because I like that AC. I want it cold.
Right.
You know that.
Yes.
But the deal about it is doing that was going to be harmful to the longevity of the barn dough, and I didn't know that until talking to y'all. And so when it's y'all actually consult with people. I know there's other metal building companies that say, hey, you want a metal building, just give them a call and they'll come stick one up. Like right now, they're gone, and then you're lost. You're on your own.
On your own. And that's where a lot of people run into trouble. is they don't do the planning and on the front end, which we do. We plan the whole thing, the whole build, do all the schedules and stuff. We more or less know what color your doorknobs are going to be, your hinges, and everything. Most people don't do that. They go buy a building, and next thing they go find somebody to be a home builder inside of it. Well, that typically never works out. And we don't take on those projects no more. We used to, but it became so ineffective for our process that we're tiring ourselves up longer with these builds because they weren't planned out. And it was inefficient to the customer's cost too.
So you're going back and fixing other people's screw-ups before you can get things started on the right path.
Right. And that, to me, we just stay away from them now. Because if they don't do our process, then we just don't do it.
And you prefer to be a part of the entire design build process.
Yep.
And I think that's something important for people to know is like, if you got a bunch of different contractors, a bunch of different construction companies doing different things, then the end product may result in something that's kind of like a mishmash of.
I could tell stories. We'd have to have like 12 of these to get all the stories out. But, we have 4 people drawing all day long in our office in Greenville. And that foresight and planning, that's something was been built over the last 20-something years. And the library that we've created and all the knowledge, because we design the structure and the inside at the same time. And our wall cavities are 6 inches, not 12 inches, 18 inches, the way we build our structures. So it's more or less when you walk in, it looks like a real house. Mm-hmm. The walls are not real thick and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, these are not normal barn doors. I mean, they can be, but they got the quality of like a full house, which is really cool. Yeah. And I think they're growing in popularity, including myself. I've got a lot of interest in them as well that I think people want to know about them. So,
well, when I first started looking at costing one out, okay, I mean, I saw a commercial on TV, General Steel. Okay, boy, General Steel, you can get you a great big building for not much money.
Right.
And boy, I mean, and I think that sells a lot of people. Oh, on the dream, I can afford this. Then all of a sudden when they make that call and all of a sudden they start looking at it, it's like, I don't think I want to do this, because it gets them over their head, and the quality of the product they get is not what they need to get. Okay, I mean, you get what you pay for, and that's for dang sure, isn't it?
Right. And I tell clients, when you're interviewing your builders, if they haven't built over 5 years, they don't know what they're doing yet to even know what to do with one of these. It's not as simple people think it is. So I say at least 5 years, and then go look at product that's at least 10 years old and see how it's done, how it's performing, talk to the customer, because that's what you start finding with these builders is they don't maybe built 2 or 3 of these, and they're the ones that make the price look so amazing because they're not doing all the stuff they need to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, we're at this show, this convention, and you go down through the aisles and you got people with elk and goats and everything else that they're selling. Okay, and I think what you just said, you get references. Is before you do anything on a Barnuminium, get references, just like on a hunt. It's like a guy just stopped here in the booth a little while ago, and he says, what would be your biggest advice? I said, get references. He said, what do you mean? He said, they got all these big bulls in their booth. I said, find out the people who killed those bulls and call them. And I said, and then find out the people that didn't kill bulls and call them. And he said, what do you mean? I said, you want to find out those people, why didn't they? In other words, do your due diligence. I mean, because otherwise it's on you. I mean, if you don't do your due diligence, I think it's shame on you. I mean, you're fixing to dump a lot of money on it. And for example, I mean, I'm going to fess up to my screw up on building my pad. Okay. So I wound up, of course, like everybody else, I'm working on budget. I want to do the best I can for as little as I can.
Sure.
Okay. And so I want everybody to know that I wound up, I had a crew come out and they built the pad. Well, they built the pad all wrong. I mean, they built the pad. Don't get me wrong. They built the pad, and I thought it was good. But until I actually got Brad out there, I didn't know that it was wrong. I thought a pad is a pad is a pad, and that is not true. And I was in the construction business, and so this is something but I was in the construction business 20 years ago. And the thing that I've found out is that there have been so many advancements. Instead of copper pipe, the plumbing and the slab, they're not doing that anymore. Right. Okay, there's so many advancements with so many good products now that if you don't deal with somebody that's up to date on things, you are making a mistake. And so that's really good advice to deal with somebody who's at least been in the construction business for 5 years.
Right. And that's the most common mistake is the pad. We hear it all the time. Our ground's pretty flat. We can build on it. It's only got like a foot of fall or whatever. And we do site visits before we sign any contracts just to make sure all the infrastructure that we've designed, the water, the wells, and all that stuff, are going to facilitate the house. And that is the most common thing. Is somebody goes in there and we're going to this is what they say. I'm gonna build a pad. I'm gonna let it set for a year and let it good and settled. Well, if you build a good pad, it don't need to get good and settled. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's
You
true.
put it in settled.
Yeah.
You know, but that's an old common thing back in the day. You know, old builders would do is just because the technology. You know, they're just doing what they knew. You know, and so we'll go out there and I'll have a pad that's been sitting there. It's full of grass. It's loose, and we got to just grub it out and start over.
Right.
To some degree, some of them we can utilize some.
Okay, so there's some different ways, I guess, to build the buildings. You bolt them or weld them, right?
Correct.
Okay, tell everybody what the difference is and why you do what you do.
Well, we do everything ourselves, fabricate, which would be a weld up. And what we do is we do a hybrid mix of square tubing and wood studs, but we have I-beam rafters and columns. So it's all mixed together that way, and that's how we get our 6-inch pockets. But the reason why we don't do both those is most of those come from a pre-engineered metal building company. And when you're building a house, most of them don't understand that, what you want with windows and all that stuff. And if you get that package and it has these window frames, all this stuff, and you decide you want to move something, well, that voids the warranty. Unless you get an engineer to come out there and qualify that it's okay to move that window. So
Everybody wants to change something. once they
everybody's
get
going
it
to
up.
change something. There's no way around it. But, we just get all those people out of the way where we can perform for our customer, and we ain't got to wait 5 days to hear from an engineer. It might say yes or no. I want control because I want to do it the right way, and I don't want to sit here and have to. Well, my customers, I'm going to tell them straight up, this is what's going on. And I have some salesmen over here that's just playing around and don't really care about appeasing anybody. That's my reputation. So I want the control to make sure I can get everything the way it needs to be, and my customer's not waiting on nothing. I'm not hearing no fabricated stories over here from some college kid that doesn't care about having a reputation. So having that control and doing the weld ups is the best way for us.
So when I mentioned everybody's got some changes, boy, that's the truth. I mean, when we first started out drawing the floor plan up, it's like, well, I want a window here and a door there and blah, blah, blah. And by the time now, it's like we've made 3 or 4 changes.
Right.
And I think that if you were buying a package deal from one of these metal building outfits that just sells packages, I'd be screwed 3 or 4 or 5 times
Yeah,
every
you'd
time
never
I
be
want to make
happy.
a change.
Yeah.
Right. And a big thing, especially with like people that want black windows, those has a really long lead times. So that's why you want to do a lot of this discovery up front about what exactly you want in the building. As far as finishes and windows and doors and stuff like that. Because we can get a white window in 2 weeks, but some of these black windows can take 3 to 4 months. It just depends on what's going on in the world. So, and we use composite only when it comes to color.
Okay, so out of the people that come in and put up the building, how many of those are like employees versus subs? Because they're all employees.
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Only when it comes to the structure.
Yeah.
In the metal building. Nobody touches my buildings but us.
You're not subbing out the erection or putting the paneling up?
No.
Or that?
We are very, we don't get to sit and caulk and paint when we have a scratch on a sheet or a trim. So we're dealing with finished product when we put it up. And that's very hard to teach people. And the way we trim stuff, how we do everything is different from everybody else. I want it to look like a house. I don't want it like a barn.
Yeah.
So the trims and all the stuff we do, my guys are trained that way. And I can't have a sub do that stuff. I've tried it and it's terrible.
It's like everything else. You get what you pay for, like I said earlier. But at the same time, I take a look at it. There's so much in business. You think about you're only as good as your team. Okay, I don't care whether you're an elk outfitter and you've got a team of horses up there and a bunch of guys packing your stuff in and guides, but you're only as good as your team. Okay, and that's one reason why, as a hunter, I tell people ask questions, get references, and ask about your guide. Who will be doing this with you, and all, because it's part of the team. And that's the reason why I ask you about your team. And your team's been together a long time, and I know. I just wound up, I had too much crap like everybody else, and I need to have a storage building put up just to store a bunch of crap. Man, I got a lot of crap. Anyway, I think a lot of people got a lot of crap. But anyway, I had this storage building, and I didn't know what to do. And so I started looking into the Connexes, these containers. I found out they call them Connexes. Hell, I thought they were just containers. Talk about me getting the education. I thought all I got to do is to get a container out there, and I'll store all my crap in there. Everything will be good. And the crap's a bunch of mounted animals. I got deer heads like you can't.
Every animal you can imagine is in this Connex.
And I think it's 45 foot. Anyway, it got filled up within 24 hours. So there's a game warden right there. We better. Anyway, I ain't lying this time. I mean, it really is the game warden. He's got a gun.
Yeah, we got the game warden 10 feet away from us.
So anyway, they don't like me and I don't like them. So anyway, where were we? It's like run. There's Johnny Law.
Yeah.
So where were
The Connex.
Okay,
It
so
really
I
threw him
went
off,
up,
folks.
Yeah. God dang, I'm looking at him, and anyway, he hadn't noticed me yet. I think he on his wanted list. So anyway, on the Connex, I found out that you can call and just have one delivered and put your stuff in it, and all of a sudden you're going to have problems with it. Okay, so, and I'm busy, probably like most of y'all. I mean, I need about 8 days a week to get half my stuff done, just
Right.
like all of us. And so it's like I don't have time to jack with this. So I called Brad and said, Brad, can you just get me one out there and just do it the right way? Yep. And that was all I did. And the next thing I know, it was there. They hooked the wiring up. We turned on the AC unit, and it's done. It's perfect. And I mean, the guides that work for me walked in and said, holy smokes, this is like a house. It's just a Connex. But the cool thing about that was it was no hassle. In being in any business, you don't want any hassle. I don't care whether you're a hunting outfitter or whether you're a building contractor or a TV show guy, okay? I don't want any hassle. I want to make one call and get it done. It's for that reason I tell people, check your references, man. And so, speaking of references, I mean, because Brad is a hunter now, and he goes to a lot of these events that we go to. Okay, he's at the Texas Deer Association. You're a big sponsor of the TDA.
We're official builder at TDA.
Yeah. And so there's and right here at this show, I mean, MVP Whitetails is actually showing in this booth here. Y'all are splitting the booth with MVP. And MVP has we've been doing stuff with them for years. They're one of the top leading deer breeders in the world. And their facility, you built their facility.
Yeah.
And not just on the outside. I mean, we've used it on our commercial. We've used it on a lot of stuff. But that's really what sold me when I went over, because Jade Webster, the owner of MVP Whitetails, is about as picky of a human being as ever walked, okay? He's a great guy, but he is picky. And he loves y'all, okay? And I thought, hell, I'm not near as picky as Jade is. And if you can make Jade happy, I'm like a walk in the park, you know? But y'all did more than just the outside of that. No, talking about the inside, because it's the inside that's more impressive than the outside.
Yes, sir. It's definitely Mr. Webster style for sure. Very thought through, even on the breeding facility side, the knockdown boxes and all the chutes and stuff. Me and him flew around 3 or 4 ranches looking at different facilities. And I just mapped it all together, got it where he wanted, and then we built the lodge and offices upstairs and the bunk rooms, and it just turned out amazing. I mean, his taste, we have similar tastes. That's one reason it's a little easier to get along with him. But he told me there ain't nobody ever building anything for me again other than you. So.
Okay, so I got to tell y'all something. I mean, I've been to ranches all over the world, literally. I mean, I'm all over the world. And when you drive into the ranches, you know, it's like the first impression, like walking in the front door of a house, okay? At MVP Whitetails, y'all built an entrance gate that is unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. It's like it could be on a presidential palace. So tell everybody, where the hell did that idea come up with, and how did you build it?
Well, we've been talking about an entryway for probably 7 years, and I've seen, just like you've been to hunting ranches, built them, and all the things, and it's hard to get recreative over and over again. You're not copying something else, especially with Jade. You're not copying anything anybody else has done. It's going to have to be original.
Right.
So, you know, we were talking through the process. I showed him, you know, a couple of layouts with, you know, on the pickets and stuff. I said, and we were sitting there talking fabrication. I said, why don't we just build this out of stainless? I mean, it's going to weigh a lot. The weight will cut down, but it's going to look fabulous. And he signed up for it. I about fell over. It was just in my heart. It was like, I love the design, but I said, will you put that into stainless? And people pull up to this day still just blown away. It just shows you what you're fixing to go through.
Well, when you enter that gate, I mean, you realize that, wait a minute, Jade is a different kind of businessman.
Right.
He really is. He runs a different operation, and he's got high-end taste. And so it's for that reason that I say that if you could make him happy, you could make me happy.
Yes, sir.
But you know, let me ask you something. Get back to hunting and checking references and stuff. Have you ever gone on a bad hunt just out of curiosity?
On a sandhill crane hunt, yes, sir.
Really? Why was it bad? Because the cranes didn't show up? Or?
No, we killed birds like crazy, but it was a hospitality.
Really?
Really. And it just, and it was with an amazing group of guys that I love to hunt with. So we made it work, but just the hospitality part of it, and not sufficient with time.
Okay,
you know?
so think about this. It's not, I was going with that. It's like, think about dealing with a builder. Okay, you get to make a choice of who you're going to have build the deal. But if you want to have a jerk build your place, I mean, think of that. I mean, you're going to wind up maybe with your building built, but the experience is what it's all about to me.
Yeah.
Okay, you want the finished product, whether you're looking for a barn dominium or you're looking for a great deer hunt. It's all about the entire experience, and there's a lot of things that make that, but it's the human being, the personality, and the commitment, the character of that person that I see that makes it worthy. And so, like I said, did the cranes not show up? No, they showed up, but it was the other stuff that you get to make a decision. You know, I said something a long time ago to Johnny. When Johnny first started working with me, he goes, I mean, he was like a puppy dog. I want to make you happy. Just tell me, let me go, okay? And I want to put that choke collar on him. Whoa, boy, whoa, okay? We're gonna be strategic in who we go after. And he wanted to go after everybody. I said, stop. We don't need everybody. The people that we need are the right people.
Correct.
Okay? And so what it amounts to now is that I realize now, after all this time in the business, I've been doing it a long time, we get to choose who we want to work for. And as a builder, you get to choose who you want to work for too.
Yes.
It goes both ways. It's like the hunters that come to my ranch, when they call me up and ask me, hey, they ask me about all these questions, I'm asking them questions too, because I want to make sure that they're the kind of people I can make happy. So that's the cool thing that I'm dealing with you, a hunter talking to a hunter. We just like get the shit out of the way. Let's get right down to it and talk about really what's important, okay? I mean, tell me, I want to make sure I'm going to be happy. Bottom line, I want to make sure you treat me right. Okay, yesterday we were talking about the 2-inch, put the 2-inch up framing on the inside of the house. And you looked at me and you said, I can't do any better than that. Okay, that's the best price I can do. I'm not marking it up on the framing, on the lumber package. Okay, deal.
Yeah.
Because I don't want the bull crap to go back and forth. I'm not that kind of guy that haggle back and forth. Now, there's probably a lot of people watching or listening that go, well, I am that guy that haggles. I don't do that.
Yeah.
Just give me a good deal. I just want to make sure that's the best, most fair deal, and then get on about my life. Just do your deal. Let me do my deal and leave me alone. You know, I want to walk in, give me the keys at the end of it, and thank you very much.
And we tell clients that all the time on the front end. If they start talking about, well, I saw this on the internet, I saw this on, okay, the first thing you're going to do, I'm going to need your commitment to trust me. Okay? I've been doing this for 20-something years. I know there's probably more efficient ways or maybe other ways, but these are my ways. You're hiring me to build my product that you came to me and asked for. So if you're going to sit here and govern me the whole time about what you're reading or seeing or heard from your buddy or your cousin that's an electrician, then you probably need to get all of them to build your house or build your project.
You ever heard the saying, don't guide your guide?
Right.
It's true.
But everything we're talking about right now, which I've never really thought about this till we started talking about it, is 100% right with how the hunting trips go, the fishing trips, and with the build. It's all about everything we've been talking about. It makes it enjoyable.
It's the experience. Yeah. It's the experience. But I mean, when you get done on a hunting trip, you sit back and look at the wall and go, that's a nice caribou or whatever it is. But you remember the experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you remember the campfire and the tent you slept in and the meals and you remember the experience. And the same thing about building a building. It's the experience. It's like, man, that was a hell of a good guy. You know, I mean, he did what he said he would do. He showed up on time. He had a smile on his face, and when shit hit the fan, and it's going to hit the fan. I guarantee you. I mean, if you live long enough, shit's going to hit the fan. And and unfortunately, that's just what happens. And so, it's all about the experience and how you handle it when it hits the fan. Is makes a difference whether you want to stay or not.
Right. 90% of our clients are just excited about building a project as they are a hunter would be about going on the trip of a lifetime. Most of the time, these builds are trips of a lifetime for these people, or it's their retirement home or their lodge or stuff they've dreamed about doing. And hunting and building have those similarities with you have to have the right person to carry that through, like you're speaking of.
So, Johnny, what questions you got for him?
No, well, I was wondering if he was wishing he checked references before he came on the doe hunt with us. we had a fun old doe hunt. Keith gave away a doe hunt at his ranch for the Coffee with Keith giveaway at Conroe Taxidermy, and your friend Terry actually won it. We didn't know at the time that you were buds.
Oh, really?
And he walked up
We
to after
didn't
me.
know.
Yeah,
Had no idea.
He walks up to us. He's like, "Oh yeah, I know you guys know Brad." I'm like, Brad who? Brad Pryor? And he's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well," and then Keith and I got to talking. We were like, "Brad, why don't you come out and hunt does with us?" So I took Brad and Keith took Terry, and we had a good time.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Yeah,
It's
it-
nice and hot, and I will kudos to y'all because I had no idea what it takes to shoot a show. No
Oh,
idea.
gosh.
And I mean, it's a lot, and it's not.
No, come on. I mean, it's like people think all you do is go out there and just get it
Oh,
done.
no,
Yeah,
no,
explain that a little bit,
No.
because
No. Well, I mean, number one, you're taking care of us people is that come out there and you're trying to give us the best. We've never done it before, so you're trying to be patient with us as we, move the gun over here, and I'm gonna move the camera over here, and this and that. We need to get, when we get the animal down, get it in position right, get the best pictures, and this angle and that angle. It's like it's just, it's work.
it is. And
Otherwise, it's home movies.
Yes.
yeah,
Right. The quality of for what y'all produce is exactly what you're after.
Okay, so imagine, compare that to building a building. Seriously, it's the experience.
Right.
Okay, when a hunter comes out, you want to have a good experience. Yeah, you want to go home with whatever it is you're after, a buck or a duck, it don't matter. You want to go home with that, but you want to go home with a good experience. And so it's all those things that go into creating a good experience that make it a challenge for that person that's delivering. But they're a professional. That's what they should be doing. And so, like on our TV show, there's a lot of TV shows out there, a lot of stuff on YouTube, a lot of videos of hunts, and they look like home movies. And I think, does that really do justice? I mean, to the is it a good enough experience? I don't know.
We go out of our way to try to get quality footage every single time, and not try to. I mean, it's either that or nothing. So, Brad was extremely cool. He was like, "Yeah, just whatever you need me to do." But sometimes people are like, "Oh my gosh, is this done yet?" Like, you looked at me a couple times. You're like, "Are we good?" And I'm like, "No, we got about 30 minutes left to go."
Like, I didn't need to take that many pictures of an animal and me. It was
But now you got him forever.
right.
Yeah. My favorite part is, so I was taking out Brad, and he shows up. So I wanted to bring him to the gun range. I don't even think you know this. And we go to the gun range, and he obviously was joking, but he looks at me and goes, "So where are you supposed to shoot a deer? Where are you supposed to shoot a deer?" And I look at him and go, and I couldn't freak out, but I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, on the body. Where am I supposed to shoot it? I go, oh my gosh, Brad, for a long weekend.
You pulled it up on video. I mean, we got it down. But I'll get a prank on you.
It takes a commitment from us in the production end of it to get our product right for people to want to watch it. Okay, and I'm not going to okay, I'm going to name names. Tim Wells, if you're listening, I love you, Tim, but I'm going to pick on you. Okay, Tim is not as polished on his video delivery as ours. Okay, but his viewer is different than ours. Okay. And so when Tim provides us footage of his to use on our show, because I use his spear a lot, okay? I use his spear a lot. I love his spear, and I love spearing animals. But the quality of his footage is so different than the quality of our footage because that's just the way it is. But our viewer is different than his viewer, too, okay? And so it's just a matter of quality. And so when we make a commitment to it, and it's the way that we figured that we pay better respect to the hunt and to the animal itself. I mean, I would never, ever shoot an animal that we don't have on getting shot on video. I wouldn't do it. Right. I mean, the people that wind up watching our show, watch our show, and watch any hunting show because they want to see that bullet hit. They want to see the arrow go through the animal. And to cheat them of that because somebody's greed or misfortune, we ran out of light. Well, then don't shoot the damn animal.
Right.
Okay? Or, you just step behind the tree and I just had to shoot him. I think, you greedy bastard. I mean, I maybe shouldn't say that. But
no, I mean, it's true.
I'm telling you, it's like, wait a minute. Those people are watching that video because they want to see that. And for you to cheat those people ain't right. Okay? And so it's like, okay, it's up to you to pull off of it and not do it. It's like, you know what? It'd be like building barnuminium. You could move people into it early, but it ain't right.
No.
So why would you do that? Okay, because it's all about how they're going to look back at it and what they're going to feel about it. So I didn't realize that really until we started talking about this too, the similarities between hunting and in the experience outdoors and building a barnuminium. I never thought of that until just now.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like there's some hardship after COVID happened even with outfitters and stuff having to not be able to do some of their hunts and stuff. We had that same issue with when we were building projects. Everything was going up. You couldn't get stuff like that. But we lost a little over $1 million, but we never went up on one client through that whole deal of material going up after COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that was a big thing to a lot of people because there's a lot of houses that didn't get built or halfway built, and banks were, it was just a mess because some builders didn't have the money. But I got back in my back pocket and finished my builds without going up on people.
Because what is the supply chain stuff? I guess then the people just couldn't get the stuff, right?
Couldn't get the stuff, and they were going up at like 50% margins, and and I didn't have that in my bid. And you have customers that are at the bank, even if they're a cash customer. I didn't ask for any more money, but that's just what you're supposed to do. You promise somebody you're going to do something, you're going to do it. So and I felt like a lot of the outfitters were doing the same thing. They were holding, like, we were supposed to go to Argentina. I don't know how many times. Still hadn't got to go. But that guy said, whenever you're ready, I got you.
Well, that's like what happened down in Texas with this past season, deer hunting wise. There's some people that they couldn't make it happen this year, so they just told the hunter that, hey, I need more money, or you're going to have to come back some other time. And then there's some places that we know that they sucked it up and they honored what they promised to people, and it's those people that will stay in business tomorrow and 10 years from tomorrow. Yeah.
Right. And that's the way I feel. A lot of that's in the hunting world too. Well, very, very rare in the building world, but in the hunting world, I feel like a lot of that happens. So.
I think another good comparison from what you guys are talking about is you get what you pay for. And as I've grown older, I've realized that. Especially, with hunts as well. I heard someone was talking about an axis hunt the other day. They went on this axis. Oh, it was so cheap. It was so cheap. Never saw an axis, but it was so cheap.
It was a hunt.
Yeah, it was a hunt. Yeah, I went and sat in the woods. It's like, there are affordable hunts out there, but if something's cheap compared to something else, I mean, there's a reason why. I mean, there's probably a reason why. So just like he said, like, checking references, man, before you, especially like going to Africa or something crazy like that. Like, oh, I got a great deal. Yeah, but why'd you get a good deal? You better look in on it. So anyway.
People will ask me, they say, how come you always go back to Legends Ranch? Or how come you're always going to Hunter's Hill? It's like, well, why not? It'd be like somebody... Like Jade Webster, if somebody said, why are you always using Rafter P? Well, there's a reason, okay?
Trust.
Because of trust and the relationship and the success out of each one of these hunts that we've gone on, or each one of these builds that Jade Webster has had with you. He can call you up after doing the deer facility and say, hey, I want a badass entrance gate. Bam! Okay, and he's got it because of the trust, just like with us. Hey, I'll call Robert up and say, Robert, Johnny and I are coming back up there. We want to go on a hunt. Okay, done. It's like,
what do you need? Yeah.
What do you need? Okay, it's a matter of dealing with the right people. Mm-hmm. And I was told a long time ago, life is full of choices. You can make good ones, you can make bad ones, and then you got to live with the consequences.
Right.
And so I tell everybody before you make a choice, especially a big life-changing choice like building a barnuminium, you better choose wisely. Do your due diligence.
It's a lifelong investment.
Yeah.
Most of these are going to be passed down. And when I was coming up in the business, I always drove around. I said, I'm going to eat in places with my children, family. And I don't want to be that person looking over my shoulder. But somebody coming up to me and say, hey, nobody's called me back about fixing that garage door in 3 weeks. I don't put up with that stuff in my office. So I've always kept that reputation. I want the best of the best. I don't want it. Our warranty is very, very minimal warranty work, and that's unheard of in the house business. Okay, most people have warranty guys. We have no warranty guys.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to tell you all this. I don't know how he's got the team that he's got. Okay, it's because it's so damn hard to find people in today's world to do anything. I mean, whether you're flipping burgers or you work at Walmart. I mean, I don't care where it is. It's hard to find good help. Okay, and for you to have assembled such a good quality team that have been with you for as many years as they have, it's. I think my hat's off to you. And it's for that reason that people keep coming back to you over and over for all their builds. Yep. So, do you go any place besides just Texas?
To build?
To build.
If farm and ranch stuff, yes, we'll go anywhere. But with the barn dominium stuff, we kind of stay in the North Texas area. But we'll build anything, outside of Texas, as long as we're doing the whole thing, turnkey. Going there and design the land, the infrastructure, the fencing, the clearing. We want to do it all for us to be able to do something like that.
I wound up, he's got an office over in Greenville, right off the highway there. And I wound up, God, there's so many choices. Your life is full of choices. So many choices when you're building a barn dominium. Good God. It's just unbelievable. It's overwhelming, to be honest with you. It's overwhelming. And you said, just come to my office, okay? And I did, and it's like, holy crap. In the office, he's got a showroom, basically, with all the choices you could imagine, from plumbing fixtures and tile to floor covering to cabinetry to everything. And you've got somebody in there that will help you decide what you want, the look you're going for, and write it down, and you're done. One visit over there, and you're in and out.
Yep. What inspired that is when it's probably been 10 or 15 years ago now. Went out, we built this project for a lady. We did the plans. It was a vaulted ceiling, but it was a narrow, like 20 by 50 foot vaulted ceiling. The pitch wasn't right on it. It looked good on plans, but when we built it, it was terrible. So, because she didn't have the feel and she wasn't happy with it, I wasn't happy with it. So we tore the whole ceiling out and redid it. That's what inspired that design room, because you can go in there and you see what a layered ceiling is. You can see what an 8 foot, rounded corners, 9 foot ceiling. Like, there's so many things you can actually get the feels. And we're not driving people around and coming in and out of houses that people live in that we've already built before. So I was trying to give my past customers their privacy, and also be able to give my customers what they could understand and visualize right in front of them.
Brad, that was an incredible experience for me. I walked in there and was like, damn, I've never seen anybody have a display like this. Whether you're talking about showers, okay, closets, you've got it all. Somebody can take a look at this, and it's like, we went to the Parade of Homes there last year to try to get ideas. I got my telephone, I'm taking pictures of the baseboards and the cased windows and blah, blah, blah. I think probably like most people would do.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden I walked in your place. I was like, man, that was a waste of time going to the Parade of Homes. I should have just gone up here to Greenville and walked in your place. So that's how you came up with that idea?
Pretty much. It cost me money to make somebody happy, but I needed to, because I didn't like it, and they didn't like. Number one, they didn't like it. It just didn't look right. And we did our due diligence and drew it and showed it to them on a piece of paper. They couldn't get the feels for it. So that's what inspired that, is eliminating. I don't like not making somebody happy. That's the worst feeling in the world, because I take it all personal. Everything I do at work is personal. Pretty much everything I do in life is personal, but I don't like not pleasing people to the full degree. If they don't like something, we're going to do something different.
Awesome.
Very cool. What do we got planned next? We're talking about going on a hog hunt, aren't we?
Yes, sir.
Out at some of the properties you got builds on, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, that'll be fun. What do you want to hunt with this time? What do we use? A bolt action rifle on the does, right?
Right. Do probably some AR work.
AR work? Good. We just got to set that up.
Yeah.
With all of our time we've got to choose from.
Yeah, the people, I'd love to have your job. You want it?
Yeah.
You can have it for a little while.
We love it. It's just we are always doing right what you're seeing us do net right now, just always going. So,
let me ask you something. I'm going to tell you what the worst. I'm going to ask you what the worst part of your job is. Okay, but I'm going to tell everybody what the worst part of my job is.
Yeah.
The worst part of my job is the travel. Okay, I love the people. I love the adventure. I love the going to and being at a place. But I just hate the travel getting there.
Yeah.
How about you? What is the
Same.
worst part?
Same part. Just traveling, being gone, on the road. Oh,
Okay, just to give you an idea about this guy, before we ever had anything signed, ever, okay, it was a matter of the Brad wanted to get to know us. We wanted to get to know Brad and stuff. He flew down. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
You flew down to see
for a day.
Just for a day. Okay, but he flew down to see us. That tells you how much he valued getting to know us, and we value the fact that you invested that time to come down and see us. And that was a huge thing, because it's like, wait a minute, you gave a crap.
Word for word, I was like, Brad, why don't we set up like a phone call with me, you, and Keith? And he was like, no. He said, I'm going to get on a plane and I'm going to get out there today. And I said, what? So that was cool.
You have to be interactive with people. If they need you and you can't get there, then you're not gonna ever appease your client, or get new clients. And I think it goes a long way with when you're talking to somebody. This is what this guy will do. I'll tell you this, that nobody else is gonna do. That's how you get more work, and you get more valuable customers because you're gonna know that, hey, this guy's gonna appreciate what I do for them.
I am very happy with my decision to have y'all building the barn dominium, and I'm happy that you're taking advantage of this space, the hunting space, because this is a space that I think is huge. There's a lot of people in here that they're working hard. We all work hard, okay? We don't have time to go through the bull crap and try to look for that one guy to handle whatever the job is. Just like, the people walking down the aisle here say, just tell me where to go on an elk hunt. Okay, what's your budget? Okay, go see so-and-so. Boom. Well, that's the same way with you. Tell me if you want a barn dominium, and where are you going to build it, and what are you looking for? Call Brad. So anyway, it's I think the hunting space is a very good space for you to be in, and we're grateful that you're in it. So
Yes, sir.
anyway, I appreciate I appreciate y'all watching. I mean, and listening, because every week we try to find interesting guests that are going to give you interesting information that you'd probably want to know yourself.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people want to know about the Barndo thing specifically. I mean, Brad does a lot more than that, for the record, all sorts of stuff. But, I think it's a popular subject right now, especially amongst outdoorsmen, so I'm sure they want to know. Real quick, you've been talking to me about several hunts lately that you want to go on. What do you think's your top hunt that you would love to go on right now?
I want to go elk hunting.
You do?
Yeah, never been.
Never been?
And all that hunts.
Elk and Aoudad?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Both fun. Keith just took an Aoudad the other day. I don't know if you know that. With an air gun.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good ram.
I wound up, that was good. I like Aoudad hunting. Aoudad are like the poor man's bighorn.
Yeah.
They are. I mean, the bighorn sheep down in Mexico, a cull bighorn sheep is $60,000.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Wow.
I ain't kidding you. It's like they get a lot of money, but Aoudad sheep is just an unbelievable animal. They live in some really rough country. Most of the country that I like hunting them in is big and arid, and man, they're home there. They are home there. And a big ram, I mean, for the most part, they're not worth a damn to eat. But we've got a place that, I mean, they make them. They're pretty doggone good. And every year we do a party at Conroe Taxidermy. It's just for the high road, and it's free. We invite people to come all. I mean, if you're watching or listening, you want to come, just check with us online. You can find out when it is, and we'll tell you. But we're going to serve Aoudad up there this year. I mean, Primo Processing out of where they at Hondo, I think it is.
Hondo.
Over there.
Yep.
They do this processing, and Aoudad sheep is so lean that I'm not kidding you. When the first time I tasted it, I said the dogs wouldn't eat this. Okay, I'm talking about it's nasty. And the last time that I made it, I mixed 50% fat, pure pork fat, with Aoudad, and it was still lean. That's how lean Aoudad is. But Primo Processing, I don't know what the hell they did to it, but it's good. So this ram that I killed the other day, we're going to have it and serve it up at the party next year.
You got to come to that, by the way.
I'll be you.
And we'll know by the time this gets on YouTube, we'll probably know when it is. So we'll put the link on the screen
Didn't
here.
Barrett had said, I think y'all got some
June or something. He's like, I don't want to
better
decide
get on the
yet.
calendar.
Yeah,
Otherwise
I'm trying.
I may be bear hunting, but I know. But my calendar is pretty damn busy. Okay, what else besides Aoudad and elk? There's got to be something else.
Well, what did you mention to me the other day? Come on. My favorite animal.
Turkey.
No. My favorite.
That's what was on my mind.
Turkeys. I've got a weird obsession about turkeys, but no.
More than weird. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, he's as bad about bear hunting as I am about turkey hunting. He's a freak about bear hunting for sure. Kudu.
Oh yeah. I was thinking mountain lion, but yes, kudu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
We can point you in the right direction for any of those.
Yeah.
Any and all the above.
Yes. Especially the elk, and you can go to Ken's for the elk and the Aoudad at the same time.
But let me tell you something. The turkey, turkeys have never done anything for me. Nothing. I mean, I don't know. They all to me look the same. They all do the same, come in and gobble, And I'm telling you right now, we're going to make a turkey video. I'm going to show you how stupid I think turkeys are. And I mean, because look, people in Missouri or back in Alabama, Georgia, whatever, probably listening, going, "Holy crap, that guy's out of his mind! I can't stand him. He's talking bad about turkeys."
We love it up there. It's
I
like you're
know.
dove hunting down here.
And dove hunt, I get my feeling about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I just do.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what it is about birds. Birds just haven't ever done it for me. I mean, I'd rather have bucks and ducks, but there's some people would rather have ducks and bucks.
Right.
I mean, and I guess the reason why I don't like duck hunting is because every time I've ever had a good duck hunting trip, the weather sucks.
Yes.
I'm talking about bad.
I'm not a duck hunter. I agree. It's always bad.
You're not a duck hunter?
Well, let me ask you something. Those sandhills, were they good to eat? Oh,
Me?
come on.
What?
Oh, come on. I've heard
That
nothing
was
but
part
good
of that
stuff.
hospitality part of it.
Yeah.
I feel like the guy, when he processed that and cut the meat, I don't feel like he did the right. It just didn't taste right.
Really?
It's supposed to be the ribeye of the sky,
Yes.
and it was
Well,
not.
and there's been guys that have been sandhill crane hunting before that said it's amazing. So I don't know what he did to the meat, but it was terrible.
Damn.
It is just really, really gamey.
Really?
Yeah, bloody tasting. So
Well, that's a surprise because I've heard nothing but good about sandhill cranes.
and I've had crane before.
I've never had it. I've never killed one, never had it, and
They're fun
that is
to
on
kill.
my list.
That is fun.
How many did y'all kill?
Well, we limit it every time.
Really?
Yep.
So the hunting part of it was fun.
Oh my god, it's like shooting pterodactyls. They're harder.
Where were y'all?
South of Lubbock.
Yeah, up in that flat country.
Yeah.
Real flat country.
Oh man, but it's cool watching them because when they start spiraling down, it's pretty cool.
What were you using? 12 gauges?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we wound up. We deer hunt every year down by the Texas coast, and this particular ranch. I mean, they got sandhills all the time. Hell, they'll come to the corn feeders. Okay, so it was like Johnny, we need to take shotguns down there and kill them. Well, the reason why they go down there because we're in the roosting zone.
Oh,
Yeah, you
that's
can't
right,
you
yeah.
can't shoot them there.
They're protected there. So
Yeah.
by the time they come down, I guess they've been shot at for so long. But they come down there. Oh, this is their place. They're safe. It's like
Just
okay.
mocking you the whole time, nonstop. But I do want to try one, especially to eat it, because I've heard literally like steak. But I guess you.
Are they
had a bad
heavy when you
experience.
pick them up?
Mm-hmm.
Are they?
Yeah, and most people don't know their noses are real, almost like needles. So most time people don't bring dogs because they'll get them.
Really?
Yeah. They're mean as hell. You get them down, they'll go after you.
It's a little pterodactyl.
Oh yeah, but it's fun when you pop them.
That sounds cool.
That'd be.
Yeah.
All right, Johnny. Now what?
I say we've been going for 52 strong minutes. I say we close this sucker out. What do you say, boys?
Yeah, I got to go to the bathroom.
I went before for this exact reason.
Okay, so I'm going to just tell y'all something. We're learning how to do this podcast stuff. All right. And Johnny says it just needs to be like you just sitting down and talking. Okay. So it's kind of rough. It's not polished up. And he says, just be you. And I think, sure. I mean, I want to be me. I want
Careful
to be
what you
authentic.
ask for.
I want to be authentic. But I say, be careful when you ask me a question. I will answer the question, tell you what's on my mind.
But yeah, no, that's the cool thing about a podcast is, we travel around, filming all this stuff, and it's all natural and all that. But this is something where we can just sit down and chat, and no structure, no ultimate show. It's just talking about life. So I've been enjoying doing it. Oh,
I'm just waving.
Yeah, we're-
guys over there. Yeah, I've enjoyed doing it too. And Brad, thank you for coming with us, and
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to moving into the barn door. I'll put it that way.
Yes, sir. We're gonna do you a good job. Take
Oh,
care.
I know you will. And thank you all for watching. And make sure what do they need to do now? Because
All right, so-
I am trying to learn how to do all this crap. I want you to know that.
we're going to be airing this podcast in several different platforms, so we're going to put that all on the screen so you guys can go and check it out, and definitely tune in because we've got a whole bunch of cool guests coming up, just like Brad, and we're going to try to talk about things that we think have value to you, as an outdoorsman, and things that you want to know about and learn about, just like barn dominiums and who Brad is and the type of guy he is. So just check out where you can watch the podcast and keep tuning in because we're enjoying doing this and we're hoping you're enjoying watching. You want to close this out? And we'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. I'm heading over.
Deal.
People Who Hunt can be watched on Facebook and YouTube and listened to on all major platforms.